Well, good morning, everyone. Um, I would like to continue on about the talk um, of the travel ban being lifted. Once again, I was watching the news this morning, and they put up a link on Channel 5 News on their website where the documents of all the terrorist attacks that has happened in the United States um, since the Iranians were allowed in the United States. It was said that the media had not covered the tourist attacks like they were supposed to, and CBS only covered 75% of the attacks. Now, while I was looking uh, for the link that they spoke of this morning, um, found an article about Elon Musk joining the court fights against Trump's travel ban. And and I would like to speak a little bit on that. Um, y'all be patient with me because I'm going to read the article. It says Elon Musk has signed in on the fight, onto the fight President Trump's travel ban. Telisa, SpaceX, and 29 other companies joined dozens of other tech companies Monday in a legal fight declaring that Trump's executive order of immigration violates the immigration laws and the Constitution. It brings a total number of companies who co-signed the friend of the court brief to 127. Uh, Musk companies, Tulsa, SpaceX, were not among the original list of nearly 100 companies that was part of the court motion on Sunday evening. Other companies that joined the brief Monday includes mattress startup Slack. The motion was filed with the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which on Sunday morning denied the U.S. government emergency request resumes Trump's travel ban. The appeal court has asked for both sides to file legal briefs before it makes a final decision. Musk, who is the CEO of both Tesla and SpaceX, was one of about a dozen top tech executives who had met with Trump in December. Executives from Palantir, Cisco, Oracle, and IBM also attended the meeting. They have not joined the friend of the court brief. The big four telecom companies, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint, have not joined the brief. Elon Musk is also a member of Trump's Economic Advisor Council. The group met last Friday, and Musk later tweeted that his request, the travel ban, was first and foremost on the agenda. Musk publicly criticized the travel ban on tweet as not the best way to address the country's challenges. SpaceX, as well as Oracle and Palantir, have lucrative government contacts. Now, with me reading that and everything else, uh, From what I can understand, it seems like Trump's executive council is not on board with his ban. I'm in the process of trying to find the links that talks about all the terrorist attacks that that the media has not covered in their coverage. You know, they talk about a lot of things and everything else, but they fail to mention how much damage or how much danger us as Americans are actually in since we started letting the Iranians into this country. I'm on their main website page as I'm doing this right now, and I don't see anything about the terrorist attacks. About the page, the list of the terrorist attacks that they said that they have listed on their webpage. So I will pull my camera back up and we'll continue on talking about what I just read. Seems like to me that Trump can't have an executive advisor that will stand by his side and support him when he makes a decision like this. Then to me it seems like he needs to get another one. Only 75% of the terrorist attacks that happen within the United States and outside of the United States was reported. Seems like the only ones that the news talked about was when people got hurt or got killed, or both. It's their responsibility to inform us about what is going on in this world. It seems to me that they pick and choose, about what they report on. I'm sorry that the police officer lost his life when they tried to save that woman that tried to drive her car off into the river, here in Tennessee. I'm sorry he lost his life. But, they've been talking about that ever since it happened. And they didn't even go into full detail about the terrorist attacks. And I think they should have, because I think that's something that we all need to know. Maybe then all these people that are against the ban and, the judge that lifted the ban, maybe then they will understand why Donald Trump did it in the first place. Maybe that will cause them to lose their rose-colored glasses that they got on their face. Maybe that possible slip and fall thing that they did and bumped their head and got stuck on stupid, maybe it'll reboot their brain. Because something needs to be done about this, people. Because we're in more danger than we freaking realize, and it's not from the weather. Mother Nature ain't got nothing to do with this. It's crazy ass people that has a fucked up belief, okay, that is going around killing people. There has already been Americans that has turned, on the United States and joined ISIS, and everything else, and picked up arms against the United States. I know things here in the United States is bad, but there is nothing in this world, okay, that anybody could offer me, not even the devil himself, okay, could offer me all the power, all the money, all the fame, all the glory in the world. I could be the most richest. He could offer to make me the most richest popular person if I would turn my back on the United States and start killing people for him. And I would tell him, no, he might as well take my life. Because there's no way that I'm going to go around killing people. Just because they don't believe the way that I believe. And this Musk dude wants to say that it's against the Constitution, and it's not the best way to handle the world's challenges. What are we supposed to do? Okay? The FBI stepped in and says that there has to be a background check done on anybody who's buying a weapon. That's not going to stop it. It's already been proven that that's not going to stop it. Because there's ways that people can get their hands on a gun if they want to. It's easier than anybody thinks. Banning the travel of these people coming into the United States, if that is not the best way to put a stop to more terrorists coming into our country and killing more innocent people, then I don't know what is. All these people who are against the ban, why don't you pack up your stuff, okay, load it on a plane, fly your ass over there to Iraq and Afghanistan and live there. All these people who are against Trump and is so pissed off that Hillary didn't make president, why don't you pack your shit and move out of the United States? Make room and make a bit of availability for jobs, homes, resources, and everything else that somebody will use and stand up for what's right. Because, number one, Hillary Clinton is a liar. Those people that were killed in Lebanon, there was a person on there that was a family member to me. They wasn't military. They were tech people to go over there and help with technology. And what Hillary did caused a family member to get killed. Not just mine, but a lot more of people's family members. And then she wants to sit there and claim that she did not do it when it was proven that she did. And then the FBI turns around, finds her guilty, but gives her a slap on the hand and lets her run for presidency. Come on. If that had been one of us that wasn't, that didn't have the money to buy our way out of it, that don't have the money to buy our way out of it, our bets would be underneath the jail right now. That's the reason why they have that saying, money talks and bullshit walks. Because if you got the money, you can buy your way out of anything. It's been proven. It's been proven that senators and everything else, pay for women that they have affairs with to disappear or to stay quiet. There's some dirty ass people in this country and in the government. And it's sad that it has to be that way. Because that wasn't the reason why this country was founded. As fucked up as the way it was done, it's not the reason why this country was founded. This country was founded for us to have freedom of speech, the right to carry arms, and everything else. You know, me and my stepson were talking last night on the phone. You know, and I don't put a name on my religion. I'm spiritual. Okay, I believe in God, but I call him Creator. I believe in hell, I believe in demons, and I believe in angels. Because there's been too many times that my dumb ass should be dead, whether it be to my own hand, my own fault, or somebody else's. You know, I've had doctors look at me and tell me that they were amazed, you know, that I was still alive. Okay? According to all my tests and everything else, my MRI, my CAT scans, you know, my spinal taps, everything that they do for the test for MS, I should not be walking. Okay? I should not be alive right now. My body should not be functioning. But for some reason, Creator has a reason for me to be here. I don't know if it's because that he wanted me to start blogging when he knew that the technology for me to do so would be out there for me to do it. You know, so I could sit and, you know, state my opinions and get people to thinking. And maybe I would say something that would snap somebody into reality, or it would pull somebody away from the edge of doing something really stupid. You know, so I know that there's a greater force than me. You know, and me and my stepson was talking, and I told him, I said, people don't realize, but it's the end of time. You know, and I know you're going to say, oh yeah, I've been hearing about that since I was a kid. My mama and my daddy, my grandma, my grandfather heard of that, but it is. Because you stop and you look, each year that goes by, people are getting more cruel, they're getting ruthless, they have no time, no love, or no compassion for anyone. You know, so it's time that we woke up. You know, and that's all about religion, I'm going to say. Because I don't agree with church. Because half of these people, you know, they put on their best clothes and they go to church, but they're the most devious people. You know, and they point fingers and they judge and they condemn and everything else. And they're no better than anybody else. In fact, sometimes they're doing a lot worse. So, you know, when they go back to court and they have filed all the legal documents that the court asked them to file, I hope they put the ban back in effect. You know, because, to be honest, you know, me and my husband, we went and we stocked up on bullets. You know, and we got weapons in this house and we're ready. Because if anybody steps on our property or comes to our door and tries to do any harm to us whatsoever, you know, they're going to be meeting their maker. Because we will put a bullet between their eyes and God can sort it out. And that's not a threat, that's a promise. Because, you know, he has worked too hard for what he has. You know, and I'd be damned if anybody's going to come in and, you know, try to take my life and me not do nothing about it. I may not have the right to carry a gun, but I carry mace. And I know how to use a key as a weapon. My mama taught me that. My mama taught me how to use many things as a weapon. Hate has become a black cloud that is hanging over just about everybody's head in this world. It's either because of the color of their skin, what they believe in, what they do, or how they look. I have dealt with prejudice all of my life. I wasn't wanted by the white people because I had Indian blood, and I wasn't wanted by the Indians because I had white people, because I had white men. I was part white. If I was able to get out and lay in the sun and everything else, I'd be really dark. I'd burn the first time, but after that I tan. And I become really, really dark. My mother was that way, except she never did burn. And she was a short little thing. She stood 4'5". I used to hold out my arm and she could stand up and she could stand up underneath my arm because she was a pistol. My dad stood 6'6", and I seen her flip him over her shoulders. And her foot was in his throat so quick he didn't know what was going on. That was one lady you did not want to mess with. And I got her temper. Got her temperament. I don't know what it's going to take for people to wake up. We woke up for a while when 9/11 happened. People started being kinder. They started being more helpful. They started being, more caring and everything else. But, it seemed like through the years we have forgot. We was knocked off of the high pedestal that we put ourselves on. And it's a shame that it took that happening and all those people losing their lives and still losing their lives, for America to wake up. Donald's campaign slogan was correct when he said, "Wake up, America," because we do need to wake up. And like I have said before, the reason why, some of y'all motherfuckers don't like Donald Trump is because he's so fucking outspoken. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be some of y'all that don't like me. And frankly, my dear, I don't give a shit. I don't aim to please you, and I don't live to please anyone. I am who I am. I talk the way I want to talk. As long as I am not hurting anyone, and I've been known to do that with my words. I don't like doing that. So, it's just one of those things. Are you going to wake up when a terrorist, because right now there's technology where they can find out where you live, okay? And hit your home without even being on your property. If that's not enough to wake people up, I don't know what it's going to take. Is it going to take a loved one getting killed? Is it going to take, someone that you know getting killed? Before everyone wakes up and realizes what the fuck's going on? It's really sad, America. It really is. So, with that said, and everything else, I think everyone needs to start doing some research on their own. You need to, go on the web, see if you can't find, the proof of all these attacks that has happened, from the Iranians, the terrorists, and everything else. You need to start paying attention. You need to start reading. You need to start learning. And hopefully, if and when you do this, you'll be able to see that it's time that we do something. We can no longer sit back, people, and allow these terrorists and these Iranians to come into our country and take over the United States. If you want to be a citizen of the United States, go to class, go to school, learn, take the test, and become a citizen. Stop being here illegally. And the ones, that are already a citizen, and they're upset. The ones that's got the green cards and they're upset, because they might possibly lose a family member. Take their ass down to the schools, have them sign up, take the test, and have them become a citizen. Then you won't have to worry about it. You won't be separated. I'm so tired, of looking at a Hispanic person and talking to them in English and then looking at me and saying, "Mi no comprendo, mi no comprende." When you know good and well that half of them do comprende. What I get tickled about is when they're sitting there talking about me and I answer them in Spanish because it blows them away because they don't think I understand. I was standing in the store line getting ready to pay for my groceries, and there was two Spanish ladies standing behind me, and they were making fun of me about the way I looked and my weight and everything else. And I turned around and made a comment about them in their own language, and their mouth, if it could, would have dropped to the floor. And the look on their face. And I told them, "Sí, yo comprende mucho." I might not be able to speak all of it, but I understand it. Might not be able to pronounce it right, but I understand it. I took Spanish in school, and I took French in school. I studied over in Paris for 2 years. Lived there for 2 years. Funny thing is, I can't remember a bit of French except Parlez-vous français. That's it. But for some reason, the Spanish stuck with me more. I guess because I used it more. Because I ran, I had migrant workers, and I was a crew leader. So I guess it's because, I used it more. And the French, I never did use it. They say if you don't use it, you forget it. Use it or lose it, is what they say. Well, I didn't use it. Oh, I know oui and bonjour. Parlez-vous français, oui, and bonjour. That's it. 3 words. If I went to Paris now, I'd be screwed. But unless my rich uncle gets out of the poorhouse, I ain't going anytime soon, or unless I win the lotto. I've been waiting for that publishing clearhouse check to come in. Them to come knocking on my door and telling me that I won. But, that's just wishful thinking. Well, on that note, I hope that y'all do some investigation of your own. Just don't take my word for this. Do your own investigation. You're allowed to come up with your own opinions. But, just remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and sometimes they stink. So, with that, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope you have a nice day. Be safe out there. I wish you hope, love, joy, and peace. But most of all, be good and kind to each other. Later.